Hey everybody, what's up? Remember me? It's been a little while, I'm terribly sorry about that, but hey, happy 2020 to you guys and welcome back, I should say, to Let's Talk Gaming. The first episode of the show in 2020, it's a very exciting time, and what better way to start it off with a game that I've played almost 40 hours on, still haven't beaten, and have struggled with and loved all the way through. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Enter the Gungeon, a roguelike bullet hell RPG style game where all you do is fucking kill things. It's pretty great, it's pretty aggressive, and I would highly recommend you give it a shot if you have the opportunity. But without further ado, I've said enough already, let's hop right into the video. Literally, let's jump right in.
Dodge Roll Studios have really outdone themselves with this title, and while it's simple in concept, it can really become extremely difficult extremely quickly. So difficult, in fact, that I have personally still not beaten the damn game after 36 plus hours of playtime.
I'm not ashamed, I'll do it one day, damn it!
But let's put that aside for now, because while this game doesn't mess around whatsoever and truly lives up to its genre title of bullet hell, it is possible to overcome the Gungeon. Of course, it will not be easy. There are 5 floors, a random boss on each floor with 4 to 5 different attack styles, as well as procedurally generated floor plans that add lots, and I mean lots, of replayability to the game. Not only that, but if you actually beat the game, you can continue playing by attempting to kill your past, which is essentially killing all the demons that haunt your playable protagonists one by one. You forge the gun to kill the past after forging the bullet that will kill the past, and go character by character respectively. After doing so, you can unlock things such as skins, guns, and item drops to use for your next Gungeon run. But more on that later.
Enter the Gungeon has a total of 9 playable characters, otherwise known as Gungeoneers, with 4 being open to the player to use from the get-go, and the other 5 needing to be unlocked by completing very specific challenges within the Gungeon itself. But let's talk about our 4 main playable Gungeoneers for a moment. There's the pilot, who's basically your beginner's guide tutorial-like character to the game when you start playing. He comes equipped with a small handgun called the Rogue Special, and even has a lockpick to be able to open up brown chests and sometimes others without a key. He also comes armed with a disarming personality and a hidden compartment which grants a secondary active item slot as well as 10% increased maximum ammo for all guns. He's fast on his feet and a reliable first choice. Then there's the Convict, who is the rage-heavy one of the bunch by far, coming armed with 2 weapons from the start, including a budget revolver and a sawed-off shotgun. She has a Molotov cocktail for her active item and uses an enraging photo, allowing her to get a damage boost for a short time, as well as reload all equipped guns instantly. Definitely a great choice for those of you who would rush into a situation guns a-blazing. Following the Convict, we have the Mercenary, who comes equipped with a shield that adds 1 extra hit point to his health, allowing for speedy recovery without actually losing hearts. He also comes equipped with a supply drop as his active item, which allows him to call in an ammo drop to refill the gun you have equipped at the time. He also has military training, which improves reload times and cooldowns, as well as increased accuracy. This makes him great for more of a defensive type of player, as well as those of you who would like to stand back and shoot things from afar. Finally, we have the Hunter, one of my personal favorites by the way. She comes equipped with a rusty sidearm as well as a crossbow, allowing for a light and heavy attack that can be used on the floor and in boss rooms as well. She is accompanied by a corgi dog that has a 5% chance of digging up items after completing a room and will bark at chest mimics to alert the player of their presence. This class is great if your playstyle is defensive, but you're also fast and offensively aggressive too. And you gotta like corgis. These characters each bring something slightly different to the table, making each unique in their own right, and with a game that's procedurally generated every time you enter the Gungeon, this game's replayability is off the charts. This leads me to my next point. While the characters and in-game world are all something to behold, its combat is this game's eye-catcher. And I'm not exaggerating. There are literally so many things on screen at any given time sometimes that it's hard to focus on where the fuck your player is. Seriously though, sometimes there could be 7 to 8 weak enemies on screen at once that aren't as weak as you'd think when they're in numbers. Enemies that shoot one bullet at once, for instance, can become real threats when in groups and can very quickly overpower the player with their waves of bullets. Some more dangerous enemies such as knights, dynamite, or grenades can make this both easier and harder to manage depending on how quickly you can kill them and where. Sometimes there will even be chandeliers you can drop on enemies if you time it right, which will instantly kill any enemy type it lands on. You can also flip and slide tables to provide either a form of cover or even use them as bridges in some instances. You can gather upgrades that allow tables to do anything from exploding to flipping every table over when you flip over a single table. Not to mention the over 300 guns and items players can acquire during Gungeon runs and by visiting shops in the breach. Players can even go so far as to rescue shopkeepers during Gungeon runs that will in turn sell to them both outside the Gungeon itself as well as making random appearances within the Gungeon during play sessions. Then the most important gameplay mechanic of all, the dodge roll. Supposedly inspired by Dark Souls' infinite dodge roll style of evasion, the people at Dodge Roll Studio, no pun intended, made this a key element in their game. You see, there are two modes of dodging in the Gungeon: walking backward and weaving in and out of gunfire, or dodge rolling, both of which are required to actually survive the hardcore bullet hell that awaits players all over the world. And while all of that certainly sounds like a lot to digest, we haven't even gotten to the big bads of the game. Put yourself in the character's shoes for a moment. You're walking through the level, killing the bad guys and minding your own business when suddenly you come across the door. You approach it, and it opens slowly, allowing you to access the next room. Then out of nowhere, a giant bird with a minigun comes out and fucks up your shit! Scary, right? Nah, it's only just a video game. Unless... To be fair, a giant bird with a massive firearm wouldn't exactly be something you'd welcome with open arms, but it is a cool concept, you have to admit. And like every single boss in the game, each one is different in both styles as well as attack patterns. Hell, they even have their own big-ass room on every floor like some rich guy who always books the VI suite right before you on vacation. And they have a big flashy door that can look really intimidating at first glance, but also very clearly states that you are about to enter a boss fight, and that you need to get ready. And these boss fights are no joke, with bullets and enemies spawning all around you until the boss has been thoroughly defeated. It can put a lot of pressure on the player to stay on their feet. But Enter the Gungeon does this in such a way that it feels compelling to engage in these brawls with all kinds of different bosses. Honestly, it may be hard while playing, but I personally found myself wanting to go back each and every time I died, even if the boss was different every time. This game has something I like to refer to as Dark Souls syndrome, where the game is hard and very demanding, but it tests your reflexes and forces you to make split-second decisions. What I mean by this, of course, is that Enter the Gungeon, like Dark Souls, does this in such a perfect way it's almost addicting, and no matter how often you die or how many times you perish, you stay determined and you always come back to try it again. And by staying determined and pushing on in the face of defeat, you do win. And you are granted a rush of dopamine straight to your brain. And beating a boss for the first time in the Gungeon is very similar in that sense. It's very satisfying, and it makes players feel like they've truly done something worthwhile. So yes, beating these baddies is certainly not an easy task, especially in the beginning. But practicing, learning attack patterns, and trying different loadouts can do nothing but improve your experience with the game and eventually make you a boss-killing machine. Enter the Gungeon is a wonderful game, with loads of replayability and customization to keep you playing for hundreds if not thousands of hours on end. It's got loads of secrets, achievements, bosses, items, enemies, and fun lovable characters to keep you invested, along with a large arsenal of weaponry to shoot and slice your way through the bad guys to an epic musical score. Personally, I have no complaints about this game whatsoever and would like to award Enter the Gungeon with a 9 out of 10 rating. This is a game you're going to want to pick up. Even if it's something you think you might not be into, I recommend you at least try it. At the end of the day, I've played games like this before, and this genre certainly does keep evolving. I love them to death, but Enter the Gungeon does it better than most. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this one, why not punch that like button in the face and start your 2020 off right by hitting that subscribe button for more amazing LTG content from me, TyGamer, here on the TyGamer channel. That's kind of a mouthful, but anyway guys, thanks so much again for tuning into this video. I really do love this game, and I really want you to try it out if you haven't already. I'll leave a Steam link in the description below. Not that I'm sponsored or anything, just want you guys to have access to it in some way, shape, or form. Also, fantastic, very large shout out to my patron, my only one right now, GamerGodKells. Thank you so much for pledging $4 a month. It really does help the channel out, my guy. Super appreciated. And yeah, if you want to help me out financially, so I can get better equipment, do more crazy shit, link down to my Patreon in the description below. You can get perks such as being featured in the end of the video, and you can even have access to the patrons only voice chat and text chat via Discord channel. Super fun stuff, but yeah, that's gonna have to do it for me. Let me know what your favorite part of this game is down in the comments below, or let me know if you're going to try this game, because I would be super happy to see that a lot of you guys got inspiration to, or if you guys just want to try the game and have been looking for that final push. I hope that I provided something like that for you here today. Anyway guys, you know the drill. That's gonna have to do it for me today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!